Are you looking for a fast and simple solution to getting a waist as tiny as Kim Kardashian? Maybe you're just looking to lose 60 pounds in less than a month, doing zero exercise and eating all the junk food you want. Or maybe you're just looking for a magic wand to wave away all your insecurities that will transform you into the sexy woman you deserve to be. If you answered yes to one or more of these questions, then what I'm about to share with you today is not for you. Because the information you are about to hear is not one of those horrible scams you find all over the internet lying to you about how weight loss is as easy as popping a pill every day, or torturing yourself with some kind of ridiculous diet that makes you give up vital foods your body needs. What I am going to reveal to you is a complete lifestyle that will change not only your weight issues, but completely change the way you see yourself in the mirror every morning, inside and out. And it's a system that has brought health and well-being to thousands of women just like you who are looking for a long-lasting, safe, and natural solution you can apply right from home and without wasting hundreds of dollars. I am not the creator of this incredible lifestyle system, but the product of it. My name is Karen Clark, a 34-year-old single mom of two, and before my lifestyle changed completely, I was 160 pounds overweight and heading to an early grave. And when I saw this utterly humiliating photo of how far I'd let myself be controlled by my addiction to food and complete lack of self-esteem, I hit rock bottom, only to find a vital lifeline that gave me hope and comfort that I wasn't the only one suffering and feeling the same. The author of this life-changing system is a strong single mom just like me, and probably, like a lot of you out there watching this, knows exactly how difficult it can be to struggle not only with your weight, but your emotions too. It can be easy for people to judge you if you're overweight or obese. The doctors constantly telling you how close you are to a fatal heart attack, those disgusted looks you get at the supermarket as you waddle around the aisles, filling your cart with calorie-loaded treats. They don't realize what a struggle it can be for you on the inside. There is a battle raging between your body and mind, and no amount of extreme exercise and starving yourself will fix that. This lifestyle system I'm going to show you today is now spreading across the US like wildfire. In just a moment, you will hear how this system, first discovered in Europe, has given incredible results to both a successful politician and a popular singer. All from using simple ways to help change your eating habits and revolutionizing how you think about your relationship with food. The system is based around one key principle that when you hear how simple it really is, you're gonna be amazed. This presentation is probably going to anger a lot of people out there who are trying to rip you off with their fad diet programs and useless pills, because I'm going to give you some tips today, completely free, that will shock the way you see weight loss and your eating habits. Those free tips are coming up, and you're going to want to have a pen and paper handy to write them down so you can start including them into your daily routine immediately. So, get comfortable. Switch off your cell phone and close Facebook for a moment because you are about to get the insider tips nutritionists and diet gurus don't want you to hear. Make sure you stick around till the end to get every ounce of free advice from my presentation. Are you sitting comfortably? Great. Now let's begin. The weight loss industry rakes in over $20 billion every year selling the latest fad programs that, despite showing some temporary successful results, experts are unsure of their long-term benefits, and many diet plans out there might not be suitable for everyone. Every body is different, and some of you might have had success at the beginning with these diets, but found you only put on weight again and have to look for other options. The media appears to be split in opinion when it comes to well-known diets like Atkins and Dukan's. Some praise the results from these plans and others question. Like in an article written by UK newspaper The Daily Mail, which told how hormone specialist Dr. Jim Mann from the University of Otago in New Zealand claimed he had evidence that high-protein diets may create resistance to insulin, which means increasing the risk of diabetes. He believes the lack of long-term data about Atkins makes the diet risky. He spoke at a heart specialist conference in Vienna saying, "The majority of people lose weight on the Atkins diet, and initially their cholesterol levels seem lower. But when the weight loss is maintained, we have observed that a lot of people experience a rise in their cholesterol levels to greater than when they started. We advise people strongly against the Atkins diet. We believe it may have a powerful effect on increasing insulin resistance." It can be extremely difficult to know what is real and what is hype these days, so I don't blame you if you feel skeptical right now. It's okay, I totally understand, but that's why I urge you to watch through this presentation to the very end. It won't cost you a penny to listen to my story, and I can guarantee you will find out something new you can start with right away with the 3 free tips I will give you in just a moment. Whether you are just starting your weight loss journey or have tried everything under the sun, the system will work for both men and women of any age. If you have tried almost everything before to lose weight, I'm sure you have felt the extremes of great happiness when you start to lose the first few pounds, only to find a few weeks into the program, your weight loss grinds to a halt. Then you start to drive yourself mad thinking about eating a whole box of Krispy Kreme donuts or shoveling down a family-sized pizza because your cravings are kicking in. And then you're back to square one and feeling like a failure. Familiar story. It happens to us all. Trust me, I've tried everything too and nothing seemed to work. And you want to know why? This is the shocking truth right here. I didn't get control of my weight because I didn't understand how my body worked or even how to eat properly. So, here's tip number 1. Get familiar with your body's hormones. They are what can help or prevent successful weight loss. Adiponectin. Scientists have connected low levels of this hormone to obesity and metabolic syndrome. The American Diabetes Association has done extensive research into the connection between low levels of the hormone to metabolic syndrome, which is a cluster of conditions: increased blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess body fat around the waist, and abnormal cholesterol or triglyceride levels that occur together, increasing your risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. It seems that people who maintain a healthy weight have high levels of adiponectin. You can find out more about the foods that can help increase your adiponectin in more detail in the system. Leptin and ghrelin. These hormones have the nickname the hunger hormones. They are in charge of telling your brain when you're hungry and when it's satisfied. Leptin takes care of this in the long term, and ghrelin is the fast-acting hormone. Studies have shown that obese people may have higher levels of leptin and be more resistant to its effect. So it's common to constantly feel hungry, which can mean overeating. When you crash diet and change your eating habits so radically, these hormones go nuts. They don't know how to handle changes easily and go haywire, telling your body you're starving and goes into hibernation mode. That's when your body starts holding on to its fat. Getting your hormone levels checked out can be a start to more successful weight loss. Having an imbalance in your natural hormones can cause havoc with your whole body and health too. It is important to get it checked out before you try any kind of weight loss program. Hormones and your emotions go hand in hand, and so number 2 is about your attitude towards eating. By changing the way you see food as something to enjoy until you feel satisfied, not something to stuff yourself with till bursting point, will you start to make a more peaceful association with what you eat. Food is not your nemesis when it comes to dieting, and you certainly don't have to deny yourself from eating food that is pleasurable on occasion. It is only when you begin to abuse eating that it can go against your weight loss efforts. Food can often be used as a weapon, or even a drug, and that is when it can become an enemy. Are you the kind of person that responds to a stressful situation by immediately going after sweets or greasy fast food to calm the nerves? Imagine if you were doing that with alcohol or some kind of drug. Then you'd be called an addict and have to go to some community center meeting every week to kick the habit. The frightening truth is, food can be just as lethal as any other drug because you're using it to suppress deeper and darker feelings that lie at the root of your unhappiness. I'd like you to take a moment and think back to a particular bad day you had recently. Did you find yourself maybe driving by Wendy's on the way home to pick up a triple bacon cheeseburger and extra large fries? Or maybe your stop at the grocery store had more sugary snacks and cookies in it than usual. What about afterwards? How did you feel? Did guilt set in, knowing you shouldn't have eaten so much as you felt your stomach bloated and gurgling? Even if that didn't happen, for sure, binge eating like this is no good for anyone in the end. Looking back on my own experiences, I hold my hands up and admit that this was most definitely one of my biggest issues. I'd use food to numb my deeper problems as a kind of way of punishing myself for what happened to me. As I mentioned, I have 2 gorgeous children, and I love them more than life itself. My problems began around 4 years ago when my high school sweetheart husband left me for a younger, more beautiful model. At the time, I felt like I couldn't blame him. After having 2 kids and trying to run a home, I had let myself go a bit, and it seemed impossible to shift the baby weight. Of course, I know now that was no excuse for a man to leave his kids without a father. But back then, my self-esteem was almost non-existent. I didn't care what I ate or drank. I was just like a garbage disposal for anything in front of me, because for me, eating was a way to numb the pain that I was feeling after my husband left me alone, taking care of our 2 children with only my sister to help out. I wasn't always this way, but as I got more and more depressed, I just didn't care. I used food like a weapon. I lost all the pleasure of eating, and I hardly tasted it when I shoved it into my mouth. As I mentioned before I discovered this lifestyle system, I was 160 pounds overweight and close to keeling over dead from a heart attack at 35. Aside from all the health issues, when I look back on myself at that time, I'm both ashamed and embarrassed to say that I just didn't care how I looked. Sometimes I woke up in the middle of the night and I'd go downstairs to the refrigerator and just stuff my face with whatever was there. Leftovers, a whole chicken, anything I could get my hands on. I'm even ashamed to admit that sometimes, at 2 or 3 a.m., I would leave my 2 kids asleep completely alone and vulnerable. Get in the car and drive to the nearest gas station so I could pick up chips or hot dogs, whatever I could find. It was like I had some kind of terrible addiction that I just couldn't stop. My friends and family started to get worried about me, and they would ask me, "Are you feeling okay?" Just say, "Yeah, sure." But the truth was, on the inside, I was falling into a deep hole that I wasn't able to get out of, and I hated myself for it. Every single morning, I would wake up to get my kids ready for school, and the first thing I would do was turn on the TV, sit down with a huge bag of potato chips, and just wait for them to come home. I wasn't active, and I had no job. I had no life sometimes. I couldn't even be bothered to take a shower in the morning because I just didn't see the point. I just got so comfortable that I didn't even recognize myself in the mirror anymore, nor did I care. I would go out to the supermarket to get the groceries wearing a pair of disgusting gray sweatpants, my greasy hair scraped back into a ponytail, and an old stained blue sweater that I couldn't even remember when was the last time I washed it. One day, I picked up the kids from school, and Danny, my youngest little boy, who's 8 years old, was talking to me about his day at school. He told me how one of his friends had showed him a really funny website, and he wanted to show me as soon as we got home. We went into the kitchen, and as I started to prepare him his favorite grilled cheese sandwich, he fired up our laptop excited to show me what had made him laugh so hard. He told me it was a site about all the weird and disgusting people you see in supermarkets and malls. Apparently, the site was hugely popular with thousands of people commenting and uploading pics every day. The site had millions of pictures from wrinkly old men in dresses to women with botched surgery jobs, and Danny was laughing so hard at it, he almost fell off his chair. As I saw him scroll through the images, I started to see people that were obese, and he was pointing at them, laughing, saying how disgusting they were. Then to my horror, he came across a picture of someone familiar looking, wearing gray sweatpants and a stained blue sweater, sitting down with rolls of fat pouring out and spilling over the chair. Danny exploded in laughter again and called his sister over to look, shouting, "Look at this huge fat butt!" Claire, my 13-year-old, took one look at the picture, and even though it was just the back view and you couldn't see a face, she knew right away. There was her mom in the photo. I had become an internet meme on a viral website with who knows how many people pointing and laughing at me. But that didn't hurt nearly as much as knowing my own kids were ridiculing me and repulsed by my horrible body. I'll never forget the look in Claire's face as she turned bright red and looked at me with utter, sickening disgust and ran upstairs into her room. When I went in, I found her sobbing into the pillow. I didn't understand why she was so upset with me until she blurted out, "I don't want you to die, Mom. Please, don't leave us like Dad did." I was so shocked at her words. She was afraid for my health. It wasn't only about how embarrassed she was seeing me being made fun of online. She thought she was going to lose me. I had been so absorbed in my own depression and trying to hide it from everyone that I had no clue my daughter was suffering with me. It's easy to forget. Kids are smarter than you think, and you can't hide things from them. She let go of all the things she was afraid of, and listening to her words cut like shards of glass. But I knew I had to hear every word she said. She told me how much it hurt, seeing me so sad all the time, like a zombie, hardly noticing she even existed. I hadn't realized the damage I was doing to my own kids. I knew I had to do something about the terrible situation I had created, not only for myself, but my family too. I vowed I was going to turn things around and get control over my weight again. I started looking on the internet at different pages. I saw so many great reviews from Dr. Oz about natural supplements that claimed to guarantee extreme weight loss results. Things like Garcinia cambogia extract, raspberry ketones, and African mango, all claiming to help you blast through fat without changing a thing in your diet. I figured it couldn't hurt. After all, they were natural solutions, and I did not like the idea of going as far as surgery. It seems the cost of bariatric surgery, where they make your stomach smaller so you eat less, can cost anywhere between $11,500 to $26,000, which is pretty excessive for a single mom to even consider. Not to mention the risks surgery like that can have. The natural stuff turned out to be a waste of time and money. And after a few months, I didn't see a single change. I tried other diets which seemed to work a little at first, but soon enough, I was miserable and craving all the bad stuff again, getting almost obsessed with foods I knew were forbidden. I was irritated and drained of energy. Nothing I tried seemed to help. I decided to look for advice online from others experiencing the same as me and came across a forum for obese women. I posted a thread talking about my story and found that I got an overwhelming response from so many women who were going through the same as me. It felt wonderful to know that I wasn't alone. And I want you to know that too. You will be shocked how many men and women go through the same struggle all over the world. It is not about being too lazy to do something about your weight problems like most of the media seem to think. It's disgusting that people like us, who are in a constant battle of the bulge, are body shamed publicly on sites like the one I found myself appearing on, and also being exploited by money-grabbing con artists who just want to make a quick buck from your pain. These women I talked to had all experienced the hell it can be to fight not only flab, but your own insecurities too. I started talking to one woman from Texas who was beginning to conquer her weight loss issues through a new blueprint created by a woman from the far-off European country of Bulgaria. It might seem like an odd place to have discovered the successful formula to weight loss, but the author, Petya Raiva, shares much more in common with the average American woman than you might think. You see, she too struggled with her own weight issues, and trying to maintain a successful career and raise her child made it difficult to always eat healthy. Fast food and ready-made meals are often so much easier to rely on when you have so many responsibilities to take care of, and Petya found herself in the same trap we all have. A cycle of bad habits, eating at the wrong time, comfort eating because of stress, and too exhausted to even think about exercise. She wasn't the only one among her friends who was suffering with the same weight issues, and after trying out dozens of diet programs and plans, she discovered the easiest and best method to lose weight. So she shared her secrets with others in her country of Bulgaria, including a respected politician and a celebrity pop star. Take a look at what they said about how Petya's lifestyle system had helped them shed pounds and reinvent their new lifestyle. Ivana is a popular Bulgarian singer who had struggled for years with her weight until she met Petya and took control of her problems.
Petya is someone who I can wholeheartedly trust completely, and I want to give her a huge thank you. She is attentive and has a unique approach to each person. I can boldly say that this is a system that really works. With a little dedication and lifestyle changes, a result is guaranteed. Implementing Petya's system made me feel 17 again.
It's not only the ladies who struggle with dieting and weight loss. Thousands of men, too, are fighting the battle of the bulge. Ercan Ebetin is a Bulgarian MP that before getting help from Petya weighed over 290 pounds, and so far with Petya's system has dropped a whopping 72 pounds. He had this to say about Petya's incredible system.
I met Petya at one of her events, and she approached me and asked me if I'd try her system and promised that it could even work for someone like me. It used to be really hard for me to catch my breath. I could not sleep. I had joint problems and high blood pressure. Now, I feel great. Every weekend I run for 5 miles. I made a radical change to my whole lifestyle and dietary habits. Now, 2 months or so later, I've lost 72 pounds so far.
Petia's story is identical to many of our own, as she too struggled with her weight and self-confidence, and her busy life as a single mom, working in politics, caused her eating habits to run out of control. As she set out on her mission to shed at least 60 pounds of her detested fat through trial and error, she discovered the most successful way to lose weight and help keep it off. You see, a lot of diets are based on excluding certain food groups. The Atkins diet believes too many carbohydrates are the root cause of weight problems and advises low-carb intake in your diet, instead focusing on high intakes of protein and good fats. Dukan's system also praises a low-carb diet and has a strict list of 100 permitted foods. Other diets rave about low-fat foods, favoring fat-free options as the key to being slim, counting calories like a mad person. The truth is, your body needs certain types of carbohydrates for energy production and types of fats that are absolutely essential for your health. After Petia tried almost every diet imaginable, there was one principle that really made a difference when it came to eating and easy to include in her everyday life. This is tip number 3, and perhaps the most incredible. Knowing about food separation. In her nutritional system, Petia explains in detail how by simply separating your food, you help your body digest it much better and make sure that every nutrient is going to do its job perfectly. Now, this is the most shocking and incredible part of food separation because it goes against everything you ever knew when it comes to preparing a meal. Never eat carbohydrates and proteins at the same time. When I first read this, I was completely stunned. Almost every recipe I had ever seen mixed the two together, even the healthy eating ones. Think about it. Pasta and meatballs, chicken and rice, even a lean turkey sandwich. Even if you replace this pasta, rice, and bread with the whole wheat healthier versions, according to food separation, your efforts are still a bad idea. You see, it all comes down to how your body digests food. Not everything is digested at the same time. Carbohydrates need an alkaline environment for complete digestion and around 3 to 4 hours to be processed. Proteins take much longer and more effort to break down, in fact up to 8 hours to fully get processed. It can put a lot of strain on your digestive system to cope with trying to process all that at the same time. By separating proteins from carbs, your body has to go through a simpler process and can deliver the nutrients better and more evenly. You can have vegetables with either proteins or carbs, as long as the two stay separate. Now you might be wondering, just as I was when I saw this, what counts as a carbohydrate and a protein? Petia's system outlines great examples of each and goes into detail explaining further about the importance of food separation. It might seem like a complicated task, but after reading Petia's book, I'm 100% confident you will find it easy and no fuss. You don't have to buy any special kinds of foods that will cost you a fortune at a gourmet organic store. Everything Petia talks about in her system is food you eat every day and find on the shelves of your supermarket. What's different about it is how you prepare and eat the food. After I learned these simple, easy-to-do principles, I finally started to lose weight. It didn't happen overnight, of course, because there is no magic bullet to getting rid of your flab. But with patience, I have now lost a total of 63 pounds over 8 months of changing my lifestyle, and I'm confident I will keep going until I reach my target weight of 120 pounds, which is healthy for my height. This system has been hands down the easiest to follow, and I don't feel like I've had to suffer or really change too much about my habits. But because I've learned how to eat properly, everything else has just fallen into place. My kids are amazed at my transformation, and the most incredible part was seeing my daughter look at me so proud, and I know now she realizes her mom is going to be around for a long time. All thanks to a wonderful woman from across the other side of the world, and her insightful wisdom and incredible lifestyle system. Petia's revolutionary system is called The Joy of Eating, a quick guide to successful weight loss. And as the title says, it's about bringing back enjoyment to your food. Inside, you will find in-depth research on the principles of successful weight loss. Let's take a sneak peek inside what you will find in her complete book. 4 vital principles of successful weight loss. How food separation works. Defining proteins and carbohydrates. How eating fruit at the right time can benefit you. The shocking truth behind the obesity epidemic. An easy checklist to discover why you have weight issues. The top 5 things you must avoid to get peak health. 10 tricks to improve your health and well-being. Why milk is not as healthy as you might think. how drinking liquids affects your diet, the connection between your blood type and weight loss, and much more. Aside from her primary principle based on nutritional science of food separation, Petya is also an advocate of putting the pleasure back into eating. How many diets have you tried that forbid you from eating some things that only made you want them more? Diets that made you eat foods you didn't even like just because they were healthier for you. Petya believes that part of this battle is your attitude towards food and also how you eat it and with whom. Are you the kind of person that will pick up your lunch and eat in the car alone, or taking it to your desk while you work? Maybe you do take the time to stop and eat with your coworkers, but end up complaining with them about work stuff and talking about how awful the world is, all while the TV blares in the background talking about the tragedies happening across the globe. Your environment and who you eat with can have a huge effect on controlling what and how much you're eating too. Petya realized that who she ate with and how was just as important to successful weight loss than the food itself. The Joy of Eating is a complete guide to adopting a lifestyle that includes not only a tried and tested successful nutritional system, but guaranteed methods to help you start loving food again and finding pleasure in it, instead of making food your nemesis and see it not as something to punish your body, but to nurture it. Petya has spent years developing this incredible system and had gone through hundreds of nutrition books, guides, and other weight loss systems. After all her painstaking research, she has compiled together the best of everything to create her own exclusive guide for you today. Petya has sold thousands of copies of her book, The Joy of Eating, in her home country of Bulgaria, and it is now available in the US exclusively through this presentation today. Petya's brand, New Green Line, is also a big success in Europe, and she runs a healthy eating restaurant in Sofia, Bulgaria, which carries her signature food separation plan in all her menu. Her success is growing, and so is her system, with specially formulated new Green Line supplements and even a brand of water. When I heard about the Joy of Eating from my friends on the forum, I thought they were just hyping it up. Maybe that they were getting some kind of kickback from pushing sales for Petya, or even that Petya was made up and didn't even exist. But I assure you, she's real, and so are the people who she's helped with the Joy of Eating. If you don't believe me, Google her and you will find her YouTube channel and interviews. Petya Raiva's story is 100% genuine, and so is her system. And of course, the first thing I thought about was, okay, how much is this going to cost me? I had already spent a small fortune on supplements that cost $80 a pop, and other weight loss guides that I'm ashamed to admit I wasted a couple of $100s on. Considering the time and effort Petya had put into the system, not to mention the real results from all the people she has helped as evidence to back it up, I bet you would expect to pay a small fortune for this system. Am I right? But the truth is, the cost is way less than you can ever imagine, and Petya herself would never expect anyone to have to pull out wads of cash for information that you have a right to know, because she wants every single person, no matter their background or income, to be able to access her information. The cost today of the Joy of Eating is less than a full tank of gas for your car. For just $39, you can get instant access to this awesome system in less than 5 minutes. And that isn't $39 a month, hidden in some sneaky little small print clause like many other weight loss programs might trap you into. It's a one-time payment for a complete guide to all you will ever need to know to control your weight. Click on the green button below this presentation right now, and you will be taken to a secure checkout page. And in just a few minutes, you will be given your personal download link to the Joy of Eating and give your entire lifestyle a makeover. How does that sound? Pretty good, right? Well, I got even better news, and this is going to blow you away. The Joy of Eating comes with an extra surprise. Because knowing what kinds of food to separate might not be enough, how about knowing what dishes to make for your newfound nutritional system? You've guessed it. Petya has also put together a recipe guide called The Joy of Cooking, a complete food guide and recipe book for healthy weight loss, which features in-depth detail about food groups and delicious recipes you can prepare at home. And here is the most incredible part of it all. Because you are watching this presentation today, you will get it absolutely free with the purchase of The Joy of Eating. So that's $39 for both books. I really love the free recipes, and Petya has divided them into proteins and carbohydrates to make it super easy. FYI, try the chicken steak with cream recipe on page 14. It's absolutely heavenly. So, Click on the green button below right now and get your own personal access to the joy of eating and your completely free gift, the joy of cooking. You are also protected by an ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee too. So, if you aren't 100% thrilled with how the system works for you, even if you just don't believe it's completely right for your needs, contact one of Petia's customer service agents and they will assist you to get every cent back you paid for the joy of eating, no questions asked. I'm pretty confident that once you see how simple it is to put these principles into practice, you won't need the guarantee. Imagine how great you're going to feel once you see how easy weight loss really can be. And not only that, but how this system can really get you a positive perspective that will transform you into the gorgeous, confident person you always wanted to be, both on the inside and out. Your beauty will radiate from within after putting Petia's simple principles and practices into action. You can have a healthy, proven-to-work solution at your fingertips in a matter of moments. You can keep it handy on your cell, tablet, or PC and read it in your own time. I like to have my recipes right beside me at the kitchen on hand so I can pick out the delicious food I'm going to prepare for myself and my kids. They love the meals I make and we sit together and enjoy the food. That is what this system is all about. Not restricting yourself and making your family suffer, but preparing nutritious meals together you can all enjoy. Wouldn't that be much nicer than sitting alone in front of a TV, feeling guilty after devouring a whole pizza to yourself? With this system, you will see food as something to take pleasure in, and you don't need to stuff yourself and overeat to feel satisfied. Take action right now and click on the green button below to get started immediately. I have never looked back, and I couldn't be happier with my own results, just like thousands of others across the globe. Come and join us right now and become your own success story. Discover the joy of eating and the new lifestyle that awaits for you. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your lifestyle transformation.